Hello students, welcome to my next video. Today we will learn descriptive research design concepts. I Dr. Rohan Devale welcome you all in the Business Research Methods online lecture series, lecture number 12, Descriptive Research. Learning questions for today's sessions are: what is the concept of descriptive research design? What are the types of descriptive research? What are the concepts of cross-sectional research and longitudinal research? Also, we will learn what are the various pros and cons of descriptive research. So let's start with the session. We will start with descriptive research design. Descriptive research can be explained as a statement of affairs as they are at present, with the researcher having no control over the variables. Descriptive research may be characterized as simply the attempt to determine, describe, or identify what is, while analytical research attempts to establish why it is that way or how it came to be. In its essence, descriptive studies are used to describe various aspects of the phenomenon. In its popular format, descriptive research is used to describe characteristics and/or behavior of sample population. An important distinctive trait of descriptive research is, compared to alternative types of studies, relates to the fact that while descriptive research can employ a number of variables, only one variable is required to conduct a descriptive study. Three main purposes of descriptive studies can be explained as describing, explaining, and validating research findings. So this is about the concept of descriptive research design. Now we will see various pros and cons of descriptive research. We will start with advantages of descriptive research. Effective to analyze non-quantified topics and issues that is possible with the help of descriptive research. The possibility to observe the phenomenon in a completely natural and unchanged natural environment is possible. The opportunity to integrate the qualitative and quantitative methods of data collection. These are various advantages of descriptive research. Now we will understand various cons, that is, disadvantages of descriptive research. Descriptive studies cannot test or verify the research problem statistically. Research results may reflect certain level of bias due to the absence of statistical tests. The majority of the descriptive studies are not repeatable due to their observational type of nature. These are various disadvantages. Now we will understand some examples or applications of descriptive research designs. So I have suggested few of the topics. Those are included or can be studied using descriptive research. What are the most effective employee motivation tools in IT sector in the 21st century? So that can be a research topic. You can solve these answers or research questions by using descriptive research. What is the impact of online marketing on consumer behavior in consumer amongst the students in the Pune city? What are the main distinct traits of the organizational culture of any particular company? What is the impact of GST in the financial industrial growth? So these are various examples. Now we will understand types of descriptive research design. Descriptive research design can be divided broadly into two categories. One is cross-sectional research and another is longitudinal research. Cross-sectional research, as you can see in the figure, can be further divided into single cross-sectional and multiple cross-sectional research, whereas longitudinal research can be further divided into traditional panel and omnibus panel research, or you can say it can be divided into panel study, cohort study, and retrospective study. Now we will see cross-sectional research and longitudinal research one by one. First of all, we will start with cross-sectional research. A cross-sectional study involves looking at people who differ on one key characteristics, such as age or geographical locations, at one specific point in time. The data is collected at the same time from people who are similar on the characteristics but different on the key factor of the interest such as age, income level, geographical location, such demographic profiles. Participants are usually separated into the groups known as cohorts. So these groups are known as cohorts. So we will see example of cross-sectional research now. So example, researcher might create cohort of participants who are in their 20s, 30s, and 40s age. This type of study uses different group of people who differ in the variable of interest but who share other characteristics such as socio-economical status or educational background, etc. We will take another example of same cross-sectional research. Here the researcher is studying development of psychology might select group of people who are remarkably similar in most of the areas but differ only in age. By doing this, any differences between groups can be presumably by attributed to age differences rather than to other variables. Now, cross-sectional studies are observational in nature and are known as descriptive research, not causal or relational research. Researchers record the information that is present in a population, but they do not manipulate the variables. This type of research can be used to describe the characteristics that exist in a community, but not to determine the cause and effect relationship between the different variables. So this was about cross-sectional studies and various characteristics. Now we will see various pros and cons of cross-sectional studies. We will start with pros, advantages of cross-sectional studies. Cross-sectional studies are usually relatively inexpensive and allow researchers to collect a great deal of information quite quickly. Data is often obtained using self-report surveys, and researchers are often able to accumulate large amount of information from a large pool of participants. Researchers here can collect data on some different variables to see how difference in sex, age, educational status, income, etc., and might correlate with the critical variable of the interest. While cross-sectional studies cannot be used to determine a causal relationship, that can be provide a useful launch pad for the further research. So these are various advantages. Now we will see cons, the disadvantages of cross-sectional studies. Routine data may not be designed to answer the specific questions. Routinely collected data does not normally describe which variable is the cause and which is the effect. Most case control studies collect specifically designed data on all the participants, including data field designed to allow the hypothesis of interest to be tested. However, in issues where strong personal feelings may be involved, specific questions may be source of bias. These are various disadvantages of cross-sectional studies. Now we have already seen that there are two types of cross-sectional research. One is single cross-sectional research and multiple cross-sectional research. We will understand the concept in brief. First type of cross-sectional research is single cross-sectional research. Information is obtained only once from only one sample of respondent. Then such type of study is called as single cross-sectional research. Multiple cross-sectional research: here information is obtained only once, but from two or more samples of the respondents. Such type of research is called as multiple cross-sectional research. Now we have understood the cross-sectional research in detail and with its types. Now we will move towards next part, like next type of research, which is called as longitudinal research. Longitudinal research is a type of correlational research that involves looking at variables over an extended period of time. This type of study can take place over a period of weeks, months, or even years. Longitudinal research is used to discover the relationship between the variables that are not related to various background variables. This observational research technique involves studying the same group of individuals over an extended period of time. Data is collected at the time of outset of the study and may be repeatedly gathered throughout the length of the study. This is the concept of longitudinal research. Now we will see one example of longitudinal research. Imagine that a group of researchers is interested in studying how exercise during middle age impact the cognitive health as people age. The researcher hypothesizes that people who are more physically fit in their 40s and 50s will be less likely to experience the cognitive declines in their 70s and 80s. So this is a longer duration research where you have to wait for 20 to 30 years. So this is the example of longitudinal research. Now we will see various pros and cons of longitudinal research. First, we will start with advantages of longitudinal research. Longitudinal research provides unique insight that might not be possible with other form of research. It allows researcher to look at changes over time. Since the participants share the similar characteristics, it is assumed that any differences are due to environmental factors. Researchers can look at the participants have in common versus where they differ to see which characteristics are more strongly influenced by either genetics or experience. So these are various advantages. Now we will move on to the disadvantages or cons of longitudinal research. Longitudinal studies can be expensive studies, and second disadvantage is participant tends to drop out over the period of time because so many times if the participants or the researcher had chosen a longer duration of period like 20 years or 10 years, then there are might chances that researcher can drop over the time. So these are various disadvantages. Now we will understand the types of longitudinal research. We have already seen that there are three types of longitudinal research: panel study, cohort study, and retrospective study. We will understand one by one. Panel study. This study involves sampling a cross-section of individuals. Cohort study involves selecting a group based on a specific event, such as birth, geographic location, or historical experience. Whereas retrospective study involves looking to the past by looking at the historical information such as medical records. So these are various three types of longitudinal research. Yes, I have covered that: panel study, cohort study, and retrospective study. At any point of time, you can pause my video and you can read the information. Then now we will see what we have learned today in this session. We have understood the concept of descriptive research design in detail. We have seen various types of descriptive research, that is longitudinal research and cross-sectional research. Also we have understood also we have understood various pros and cons of each and every method. So that's what was today's session. What's next? In my next video, we will understand experimental research design. Till then, keep thinking, keep learning. Keep watching my channel. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, and turn on the bell icon for further notifications. All the best for your studies. These are the references that I have used while preparing this PPT. Thank you.